Interesting sights from Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. Now on October 3rd, 2020, the video surfaced online. In this video, members of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad allegedly threw out a young man in Ughelli, Delta State from a moving vehicle. This video sparked protests all around the nation, which officially began on the 8th of October 2020. Since the beginning of the overwhelmingly peaceful protests in Nigeria, the federal and state governments have tried to quell these peaceful protests. Today on the show, my colleagues and I are going to be giving an in-depth look on the different ways the government have tried to put an end to the End SARS campaign in Nigeria. Hello and welcome. Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
I'm palpitating.
Oh, I can hear it from your voice.
My voice is shaking.
Yes.
Because of the things I have been seeing in the media. You know, 5 years ago, in November, I was invited to a birthday party at a club in Benin City. On our way, we were accosted along the Benin-Lagos Expressway by members of the Nigerian police force. We were then taken to a police station. I was showed a picture of a young man that had been beheaded in BDPA in Benin City. After we were showed that picture, we were told that we were working with cultists that had beheaded this young man and we were part of the robbery team that did it. We were asked to write a statement towards this resolve. We refused. The policemen wrote the statements themselves and asked us to sign it. In the statements, we were alleged to be a part of a cultist group that goes around beheading people. The people with me were all ladies. The other two girls started crying. I sat there looking, I was bewildered. I'd never experienced something so horrifying. At the end, we paid some money, we were let go. We went to our houses. Over the period of this protest, the stories that have been unearthed from several members of this country brought tears to my eyes. At what point do we say enough? And what has been more interesting about this protest that is almost nationwide now is the ways in which the government at the federal, the state and the local level have tried to stop this largely peaceful protests. We have seen live bullets fired at protesters. We've seen that in Abuja, we've seen that in Lagos, we've seen that in Anambra, we've seen that in Jos. People even died in Ogbomosho. We've seen water cannons being used in Abuja, even though just yesterday morning the Otedola Bridge was on fire and there was no water for it. We've seen tear gas in different parts of the country. We even heard that the ASU strike will be called off just to make sure that youth will leave the streets
and go back to school.
Even the NYSC camps have been opened. The speaker said that they could not watch young Nigerians being recruited into the End SARS campaign. These are the things that should have been done irrespective of the protests. So today, this morning, I really would love for you guys to lend me your voices and let me know how you feel about these different measures that the governments have decided to put in place while they ignore the elephant in the room. I'll start with you, Faith.
Okay, so good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I'm trying to stay calm. I should be calm. Okay, so the protest actually started from the hashtag End SARS, and I think currently End SARS is like a metaphor. We have become really, really angry, and we've been recalling a lot of things that have happened in the past that we ignored. We did not think we were supposed to react because we believed that they were true. Now with the development, the protest, and the way the government is handling the protest, we now see that we've been fooled all these years. Now I'll take our minds back to a video that surfaced online where the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, went on a courtesy visit to the president and was bringing out everything the youths are agitating for the 5 of 5. And when he mentioned compensation for people who have lost, families who have lost their family members as a result of police brutality, the president laughed. And I cannot stop playing that video in my head because it just shows that we don't matter. Moving forward, we've seen different measures put in place as a result of this protest to see that young people are taking off the streets. Like I said, it's beyond End SARS. End SARS is just a metaphor. We are agitating for other things. We want an end to bad governance. And now they feel because schools are on strike, that's why the students are on the road. And they also feel, okay, if we resume NYSC camps, we'll have many prospective core members, they will go back. So November 10th, they want NYSC camps to open. On the 15th of October is a very happy day for me because that's where I saw bodies tweeting back to back because they now talk to us on Twitter. We accept it. I saw the Minister for Youth and Sports Development Sunday Diary tweets that it has been approved that NYSC should be open on November 10 and strict COVID-19 measures will be taken. Now, I also saw that same day, the Federal Capital Territory Authority tweeted that Abuja protesters should go back home. They should be taken off the streets because they are flouting COVID-19 rules. And I'm like, okay, if we are flouting COVID-19 rules, why then do you want to resume NYSC camp on November 10? Also, they said each and every core member would be tested for COVID. And the last time I checked, they pay money to get tested. So the question I'm asking is the federal government going to foot this bill for testing? I also did my research and I discovered that we now have Nigerian COVID-19 kits that they said will give us our test results in less than 40 minutes and it's cheaper. Now, the regulatory bodies have not approved these kits. Do they want to use kits that have not been approved by WHO on people to test them for free, talking about the core members, or these core members are going to pay to get tested? Now, a lot of things aside this is the angle I'm just coming from, because I'm really concerned about these core members. This is the angle I'm coming from. A lot of things have been going on during this protest. I've seen the government try to stop this protest. Meanwhile, they are supposed to answer to the cry of these people. It's just like a situation where you have sour soup, and you want this soup to taste good by all means. You pound garlic and put inside. You pound ginger and put inside. That's exactly what is happening in the country right now, and it's really sad.
It's so interesting to look at. I did my youth service in 2016, and when we finally got to the campground, I had to couple my own bunk by myself. Oh, we got there were a heap of rusted bunks, and so everybody was trying to check through and see which one can you manage, nail here, and then we had to carry it for a very long distance to a room with a rotten toilet with maggots inside it, and then we had to clean feces that had been there for months or even years. I don't know how long it had been there, to find a way to make sure that the room was habitable. None of this is being even considered, but people are being sent back to NYC camp because they want the young people off of the streets, which is really interesting. Now, before we address the other issues and the other ways the government over the federal, states and local level have tried to stop the End SARS campaign nationwide, we spoke to some young people in the main city, Nigeria State, about how they feel about the End SARS protests, and this is what somebody had to say.
Our youths are dying. Our children are dying. Enough is enough, Buhari. Enough is enough. They're even killing our husbands waiting.
Okay.
Buhari, okay.
I'll hold the mic for you.
Oh, no problem. Go ahead, sir.
So far, what is the mission for this protest?
Okay, sir. Actually, the mission for this protest is we are tired of the killings, Nigerian youths cannot even walk freely in their own nation. We are not in another country. This is our own country. You cannot see a youth dressed properly out without police harassing them. We are tired. That is why we all came out in mass today to protest.
Okay, it seems like it's only the masculine gender. The feminine gender is also...
Even the women, they are here. We are not even talking about young girls. We are talking about women. Many of them are here. We are young girls. Our husbands are dying every day. How long would we continue losing our youth? How long? What is their offense? Is it a crime for me to hold an iPhone 6? The police must harass you. Why? Why is it that way? We are tired. We are begging Buhari to wake up from his sleep. Enough is enough. Buhari is doing nothing about this. And that is why everybody is suffering from this nonsense. Tell them to wake up. We are complaining of SARS. They are bringing us SWAT. What is SWAT? Is it not the same thing that SARS is doing that SWAT we do? Please, they should wake up. We are tired. We are tired. Enough is enough. Thank you very much. My name is Adesua, reporting from Benin City. Adesua.
Interesting things. And at first time, while we made this video in the studio, the different person at Joe State, the Benin City preferably, has been barricaded by hoodlums who have hijacked the protest in the Joe State. But let's not focus on that right now. Another measure that the government has taken is to call off the 7 months, if I remember correctly, ASU strike.
Aisha. Yes, it's almost 7 months because they actually went on strike on the 23rd of March 2020. And I was wondering why the government have not done, the federal government have not done anything about it. They waited for the protests. If they know they can do something about it, why did they wait for so long, for almost 7 months? Just on Thursday, 15th of October, the federal government called for a meeting in Abuja. And those present at the meeting was the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, the Minister of Education, Adamu, the President, ASU President, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, Accountant General of the Federation, Adamu Idris, and the Senate President, Senator Senator Ahmad Lawan. 5 of them, they went for a 3-hour meeting, closed door. What were the ASU clamoring for? They just said they don't want the payment method of the federal government. The federal government wants them to be paid their salary through integrated personal and payroll information system. But they said they want the UTA system, which is the University Transparency Account System. That was just it. And after the meeting, ASU demonstrated how the software can be used. And they said they will still go for formal demonstration, that government agency have to look into it. So the meeting was postponed to tomorrow, that's 21st. So we can see that the strike will soon be called up. So the federal government, you're laughing.
Allegedly.
Yes.
Supposedly.
So they've given them listening ear, and a process is going on. We could see that the federal government is actually considering the UTA software
so this
payment method. Yes, after 7 months.
The streets.
Yes.
But you are not calling children just to get young people off the
Let's
streets.
also imagine
Yes.
that COVID-19 concerns, inclusive. Yeah,
Very important.
Because the NYC
Yes.
camps also closed about 7 months ago. So let's
Okay.
assume
Okay.
that because of COVID-2, schools did not resume.
And if we recall, we had a member of ASU on our show a few weeks ago, and he mentioned that the Nigerian institutions, especially our federal government-owned universities and state government-owned universities, do not have the capability to hold lectures during this perilous COVID-19 times. But we're not going to focus on that. Another very interesting situation that happened and that has been happening during the End SARS protest is the overriding of peaceful protests by hoodlums.
Yeah.
In Abuja, one of them was captured and he claimed that he was paid 1,500 naira to disrupt the protest. Marvelous.
First off, again, good morning, everybody. I feel, I think earlier on I was having a discussion with someone and I said, I feel emotionally drained because it's quite really painful what's going on in Nigeria at the moment. How down we have come. Like, we're 60 years old, right? We are 60.
Big 60.
Big 60. But right now, it doesn't look like we are. The giant of Africa cannot actually handle its own problems. In politics, political science, we are being told that body language says a whole lot of things. You mentioned something where you said Sanwo-Olu was actually giving talking to the president about our demands, and his actual body language was to laugh about it. That shows a lot. That shows a lot. Now, most of the peaceful protest that has been going on in Nigeria has sincerely been taken over by some. We would like to call them political talks, because, of course, for a fact, we understand that the youth are speaking in one voice. But even as far as the youth are speaking in one voice, there are some segments of also we same youths who actually don't understand that we are fighting for the same thing. We are fighting for the growth of the country. But you are okay with somebody giving you 1,500 naira that won't last you a second, just for you to create havoc. A man died yesterday in Abuja due to multiple stab wounds, particular James, due to multiple stab wounds of a peaceful protester. Yesterday night, they did an overnight protest in CBN, in front of the CBN. we still saw some videos of those cars being burnt down and some things that were being said, even as much as it's not safe for me to actually start saying them here, but things are going haywire. I don't think the politicians are actually listening. I think they are trying to make this thing look like a political gang up. And this is no political gang up. The people, you can fool some people for a while, but you can't fool everybody. Come on.
Now, the major response that the Nigerian police force has given towards the End SARS campaign is the establishment of SWAT. Now, while SWAT is allegedly touted as a brand new establishment, some Nigerians have done their research to find that Nigeria have always had a SWAT team. But on the off chance that this is a brand new SWAT team, here are some things that you should know about the SWAT. Now, the SWAT is a Special Weapons and Tactics Team. SWAT. This new SWAT outfit will comprise of officers and men that will be selected based on clearly defined criteria, and they will be specially trained in weapons handling and tactical operations. Now, if you remember, the police released a communique saying that as members of the SWAT, you are not allowed to be a previous member of SARS that has been disbanded. And also there has to be a psychological evaluation, and then a new training will begin today for the members of the SWAT. And yes, and their full mandate is that they are to respond to robbery attacks, they are to respond to scenes of weapon-related crimes, and they are to respond to rescue operations and special operations involving high-profile criminals and constitute threats to national security, including anti-banditry, counter-terrorism, and counter-insurgency operations. And the structure will have people like the CSP, the SP, the DSPs, ASPs, and some NCOs, which is very, very interesting. Now, if you want to be a part of the SWAT, this is what you should know. First of all, you have to be between the ages of 25 to 40 years. And then, your service must not be less than a 7 years policing experience. Now, to understand this means that you ought to have been a member of the Nigerian police force for 7 years first. Now, let it be known that previously to join the SARS, all you had to do was apply and allegedly be an ex-convict. But this time you ought to have had 7 years policing experience for you to be a member of SWAT. Basically, no new friends. And also there will be a physical fitness. You must be especially physical fit to withstand the rigor of the SWAT training. You also would have gone through medical and psychological fitness. You must be immensely disciplined. And then officers and men to be selected must not be one of the personnel of the recently dissolved Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Now this is fantastic.
On paper, right?
But still, members of the End SARS forces have converted their move from End SARS to
End SWAT. Yes.
We do not want an old wine in a new bottle. We want the entirety of the policing system in Nigeria to be reformed. Now, some people have said that the SARS protests are turning political, but all the conveners nationwide are saying that this is not a political movement. We are not asking for the president, the democratically elected president, to step down. We are asking for none of those things. We are saying that we want a reform of the Nigerian policing system. We want a special inquiry into the crimes that they have been accused of. And then when they have been found guilty, they want a public trial. The government has told us that there has been a closed-door trial of some members that have been seen assaulting people on camera. But Nigerians are saying that we do not want a closed-door trial. We want to see names. We want to see people being prosecuted in public. And we want to see those people go to jail. How long is this End SARS process going to hold, and what are the far-reaching effects for the country? We might not know, but there has been positive change on the horizon. My name is Joyce Chicks. I was joined today by Marvelous. I was joined by Faith Maya. I was joined by the wonderful Aisha Owatedeko. And we're saying have yourself a lovely day, be safe, and make sure that you know that you have the power to ask for what is rightfully yours. Have a great day. And do not forget to subscribe to our socials, TSL Nigeria TV, on all platforms, and of course on YouTube.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.